Welcome back to Houston Life. Today we are diving into the power of visualization and how vision boards can help us manifest our goals.
Joining us is L'areal Lipkins, author of A Woman with Vision and an expert in using vision boards to achieve success. Welcome, L'areal. I totally believe in this.
Well, I do too.
Well, do you get that? Do you get a little feedback saying people saying, "Oh gosh, that's not true"? How do you explain it?
Yeah.
Effectiveness to them?
Yeah, well, the vision board, I think a lot of people who are hesitant have done a vision board before, and they've literally just taken pictures and glued them on the board, but didn't do anything after or before, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay, perfect.
Well, so tell us how we effectively do it. It sounds like it's not just about creating the board, but then what happens with the board after we put it together.
Absolutely. Well, first, the vision board, if you do it right, should be a visual representation of your goals. So you should be able to have a blueprint of what you want to focus on and the goals that you want to accomplish for the year.
Right.
So the first thing, and you've already done it, is to get clear about what your goals are.
Okay.
Right. And this is where a lot of people mess up, Tessa, because they create their dream board, their dream life, without actually thinking about what am I willing to commit to and work towards over the next 12 months.
Okay, so walk us through the process. I mean, these are things that I am passionate about. I want to travel more. I want to be more of a fashionista. I want to be rolling in dough, and I want a fun relationship, and I want more pickles. Right?
Those are all perfect.
And how do I follow up after that? Right? So the first thing, to your point, is getting clear. The second thing that you want to do is to cut out pictures that represent your goals.
Okay.
And what I love about your pictures is that they're actual images versus words.
Okay.
So a lot of people will fill it up with inspirational words, but when you have an actual picture, the way that it imprints in your mind is completely different.
Interesting.
So pictures versus words. The second thing that you want to do then is to actually divide your board into quadrants.
Okay.
All right, and so when you do this, you have Q1, you have Q2. So if we go Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4.
Okay, so like yours is here, here. Yes,
yep,
four quadrants.
4 quadrants. And the reason that we do this is because when I look at all of this, it can become overwhelming.
Okay.
But when I divide it by quadrants, I only have to focus on one quarter at a time. So this is actually January through March.
Walk me through this. So January through March, what are you working on?
Goals. So this is relaunching my podcast.
Very cool.
Restarting my YouTube channel, growing my email list because I do this full time.
Okay.
Right? But being able to see this allows me to see all of my goals at one time without getting overwhelmed because I can focus on 90-day kind of spurts, if you will.
That's the first time I've ever heard that strategy. And just so our viewers know, the images Tessa and I have, we talked about this with our producer.
Yeah.
And we essentially printed out the things that we want to manifest. So once you've done that then, L'areal, for the year, we start assembling the board by sticking it on. And why is the imprint different on your mind when you're seeing a photograph versus just reading a word?
Well, images create emotion. Right? Think about photographs that you look at when you're a child or you take pictures with friends, you instantly look at yourself. So when you have an image, it allows it to imprint much deeper and it creates an emotion that creates more motivation and it actually sticks.
Wow. Wow. And so you've seen these vision boards you make. Have they worked in your life? Because I've made one. I feel like the majority of what I was looking at, I hung it right in front of my bed and I would look at it. I had no TV. I have no TV in the bedroom and I would just look at it every day. And I was living in LA at the time and I had Texas right in the middle of it.
Oh, wow.
With a heart in it because that's where the heart is. This is where my home is. And of course I had, I had laughter and work. I had a microphone in there, and I just feel like the majority of that came true.
Yeah.
Do you find that for yourself? Do you make one every year? Does it have to be at the beginning of the year?
I make one every year. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. There's nothing magical necessarily about January 1st.
Okay.
But you bring up a really good point. Is it's not just creating the board. It's really what do you do after, right? So I love that you put it somewhere that you're looking at it on a consistent basis because out of sight, out of mind. But when you're looking at it every single day, it reinforces this is what I'm working on, this is what's important to me, and it keeps you motivated and focused.
I like the periodic check-ins because, at least for me, the beginning of the year is a time when we're all thinking about our goals for the year, and then we get busy and life gets complicated, and suddenly the year's mostly over, and we feel like, oh,
what did I do?
That thing I wanted to do, it didn't happen. Well, maybe next year. So how often should we be regularly checking in with ourselves, looking at this vision board, and really realigning those goals?
Every day. Right.
Wow.
So looking at it every day, and then I like quarterly check-ins because it allows you to say, this is what I focused on or said I wanted to focus on for the quarter. What worked? What didn't work? What do I need to do different? And perhaps life does happen, and it gives you a chance to get back on track versus waiting to the end of the year.
Is it okay to to change your mind and essentially stick a new photo?
Just rip one off. I changed
Take
my
one off.
mind. I don't want to be rich.
This is your life. Well, mine is, I don't want to get in shape, right? I'll just have another baby, right? Instead. But yes, it's absolutely okay for you to change because this is the vision for your life. And the other thing by doing it quarterly is I find that a lot of people load the front half of the year full of pictures, but when you break it out by quarter, they realize, oh goodness, I have all these ambitions for the first 6 months and nothing for the second 6 months. So it allows you to be really more balanced in your efforts.
So cool. Okay, Derek, just a question. What did you put on your vision board? Because I kind of went through mine. What did you have?
Oh, okay. Well, I did more time with friends. So these are just photos of outdoor gatherings, spending time with people I love. And then Brandon and I really want to build a house in the woods. We want a little cabin. We've wanted to do it for years. I want to be a beekeeper. I want, you know,
I can see it.
One candle. I want to live, you know, like the pioneers lived.
Right.
So we're going to do that at some point this year.
I'm so, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you for putting your goal in a vision and then you can write it down. But where are the bees? You need to have a beekeeper.
I need to have the bees.
Yeah.
By the way, before we let you go, what's up with the markers and the letters and the numbers here?
If you want to add extra things, if you want to write in words that perhaps you can't find or more motivational phrases or add some additional images. And the other thing that I would say is now that you want to have this house and the beekeeper deal is create a plan.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to actually make that happen?
I like that. And
buy
look
some
at it
beads
every day. Where do we put this once it's done?
Somewhere where you see it every day.
Like a
Whether that's
bathroom
your
mirror.
office, bathroom mirror, bedroom, wherever you're going to see it, and it's going to hold you accountable.
I'm going to put it on
bet.
Tessa's desk because I look at Tessa's desk every day.
You do, judgingly.
L'Areal, thank you so much for stopping by Houston Life. This is really cool. And I know it's not January 1st, but again, this is something that our viewers can create any time of year to
Anytime.
really center on their goals.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
And it's
best of
all
luck.
about you. That's what I like. It's like, this is what I want. I'm making sure I'm doing what I want, my
You
goal.
are the boss of your life. Okay, so if you are feeling inspired to create a vision board for yourself, please share it with us on Click to Pins. We would love to see them. We want to know what inspires you. Our producer Giovanna shared L'Areal's picture with us. You can see it right there on your screen.
And if you'd like to connect with L'Areal, you can find her information. That's going to be on our website, HoustonLife.tv.